What's going on, guys? Matt Weik, Weik Fitness. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. So, today I want to talk about something because, quite frankly, it's a passion of mine. I love supplements. I've been in the supplement industry over a decade. I've been using supplements since I was in high school, which I'm dating myself, but that was quite a few years ago. And I use it throughout my, days as an athlete, throughout college, obviously throughout high school as well. And to this day, I still use them for various reasons. Obviously, you have things like multivitamins, fish oil, vitamin D. You have your BCAAs and amino acids, your EAAs. You have people who utilize stuff like fat burners. You have, everything under the sun that you can imagine, there's a supplement for. But there is one that I recommend everybody think about, and that's protein powder. Just because as Americans, our diet is naturally higher in things like fats, carbohydrates, and very rarely does mainstream population get enough protein in their diet. Maybe they have a burger for lunch or for dinner, or they have a steak at some point during the week, or a chicken breast or something like that. But most of the time, people are having something on the go. They're making, different pasta dishes. Anything and everything. At the grand scheme of things, protein is very small at the end of the day. So I want to show you guys just how versatile different protein powders are and what I have been experimenting with to figure out if I like something, if I want to tweak it a little bit, so on and so forth. So I picked up, this is not a paid sponsorship, I have this Isopure. Let's see if it'll focus in with the lighting. It might be a little difficult, but it's the Isopure Whey Protein Isolate. It's the unflavored. So it tastes like nothing. If you put it in water, yeah, the water might taste a little different, but it's not flavored. You're not going to have like a vanilla or a strawberry or a chocolate or something like that. So this particular tub, 47 servings. I can't remember how much it costs. You can go online and Google it. I'm sure Amazon and a bazillion different places have it. But one scoop is 100 calories, 0 grams of fat, 0 grams of carbohydrates, and 25 grams of protein. So let me explain this. This I love for breakfast. I made it this morning, and this was a test. I want to get more protein in my diet. I eat a lot of whole food sources of protein, but I'm always looking to add a little bit more so long as it matches, my overall macros that I'm trying to hit for the day, as well as my calories. So I put in 2 scoops of this Isopure unflavored WPI, and it gives me 50 grams of protein, 200 calories, 0 carbs, 0 fat. It's perfect. It's literally, if you're just looking for something to add protein to your diet or your nutrition, it's hard to beat something like a WPI in terms of the versatility that you can get and not increase your fat and carbohydrates. Most protein powders that are out there today, they're not necessarily high in fat or carbohydrates unless you get something like a meal replacement, which I personally am not a fan of. I would rather make my own meal replacement by adding my own fat sources like a natural peanut butter, my own carbohydrates like natural fruits like blueberries, strawberries, stuff like that. But today, because it's breakfast, and if you know me, you know I love coffee. Again, I'm experimenting. So I've done, and it's on my website, I've used a vanilla protein powder, some vanilla Greek yogurt, coffee, actually, brewed coffee, as well as some instant coffee. And then I would throw in a little bit of Splenda. What else did I used to put in? I think that's about it. Oh, and a banana. Sorry, and a banana. So that made it super sweet. It made it nice and creamy. It was delicious. But it took some time. And if I don't have time, normally I'm left just making a normal protein shake, which can get boring over time. You can only drink so many vanilla shakes or chocolate shakes or strawberry shakes that You want something different. And being that it's the morning time, I drink coffee. I like my sugar-free energy drinks like the Monster Zero or Monster Ultra Zero, whatever it's called, the white can of the Monster. Um, so I could drink a pot of coffee every day if you put it in front of me and not think twice about it. So I was grocery shopping with my family, and it was this past weekend, and I found this, and it's the Giant brand. It's a local. Maybe you have it where you live, but it's like just a mass chain of grocery stores. So here is what the container looks like. It was only a few dollars. There we go. Now we got it. So it's a medium roast. If you toss it in MyFitnessPal, there's literally nothing in it. I used 2 teaspoons for 16 ounces of water, and obviously I dumped in the 2 scoops of the Isopure unflavored isolate, but there's nothing in it. So you're getting no extra calories, no extra carbs, no extra fat, none of that stuff with this instant coffee. And literally I just took the little teaspoon measuring cup, measured that up, put 2 scoops in a shaker cup with the water, tossed the protein in, and I was good to go. Now, here's where you can play with things a little bit. You can add a creamer to it if you wanted. Obviously, not ideal if you're trying to stay low carb, low fat, low sugar. Obviously, there are low carb varieties of creamers, there are low sugar varieties of creamers, and there are low fat varieties of creamer. It's up to you if you want to use those. You know, if it fits within your macros and you enjoy it every morning and that's kind of like your treat, by all means, go for it. Me personally, I'll drink the no sugar just because I'm not a big fan of sugar. But today, what I did was I took the tub of protein, I took the instant coffee, 16 ounces of water. I did 2 scoops of each of those, like I mentioned before, and then I put in 2 packets of Splenda to sweeten it up. Now that's after I made everything in my shaker bottle, and right here it is. Literally, I popped it up. If you like black coffee, just completely black, no sweetener, no cream, no milk, no nothing in it. Just you make your coffee, it's black. You pour it in a cup, you drink it. If you like that, then you would like the combination of the instant coffee with the unflavored protein powder. I'm honestly really digging the unflavored, just for the fact that it doesn't taste like anything. So whatever you mix in it is exactly what your shake is going to taste like. So it's different than what I'm used to, and I'll be honest, I can't even remember the last time that I tried an unflavored protein powder, just because I'm so used to getting a vanilla or a chocolate or a strawberry or something like that I can mix in with different ingredients. Again, I love mixing stuff in with my shakes if I have the time and I can use, the Ninja blender and stuff like that. I do like putting in bananas and natural peanut butter, and maybe I'll even put some oats in if I'm looking to put on some size and I want the extra calories from the oats. That's fine to do too. But literally it's just the instant coffee, the unflavored whey protein, 2 packets of Splenda. I did the old shook it up for a little bit, popped the top, took a sip. The without the Splenda just wasn't for me. I had to have at least a little bit of sweetness to it. So 2 packets was all I needed to really change the flavor of it and make it more appealing for my taste buds at least. But the gist of this entire video that I want to get through to you guys, and if you're listening on iTunes or some other podcast platform, thank you for tuning in. Obviously, I was showing the examples of the protein powder and the instant coffee and stuff like that, which, if you are interested in this coffee, I couldn't tell you a damn thing about it. It's a Giant brand, instant coffee, medium roast, okay? So usually they put down where the coffee is actually from, like Colombian beans, Brazilian, whatever the case may be. So it makes up to 66 fluid ounce cups. So technically, I guess you could have 60 servings, but if you're like me, you're going to cut that in half. It's going to be 30. But nowhere on here does it say what type of coffee it is, other than medium roast. Ingredients: 100% coffee. Distributed by Foodhold USA LLC, Landover, Maryland. Nowhere on here does it say Colombian beans, Brazilian beans. I couldn't even tell you. I will say this, the flavor of it is meh at best. But I mean, I paid a couple bucks for this. It was an experiment. I was like, hey, I'm going to pick this up and just try a couple things. In the past, when I've used instant coffee, I've used things like the Maxwell House instant coffee. But this was super inexpensive. So I'm like, look, if it tastes terrible and I throw it away, I'm not going to feel bad. Or I'll mix it with stuff just to give whatever I'm mixing it in a little bit of a coffee flavor. But I mean, I don't regret the purchase. I'll continue to use it. I'll probably use it in the morning, like I've been with the Isopure Unflavored Whey. But it just goes back to show I could actually use this protein for various different things. I could throw it in my oatmeal. I could throw it in my yogurt. I could throw it in my cereal. I could even take this. Now, I wouldn't do a full scoop, but I could take the Isopure WPI, maybe take a quarter scoop. I could dump that on my son's cereal. Mix it with the milk. He wouldn't know the difference, and he would be getting in a high-quality protein. My son doesn't eat a ton of protein sources, and it's something that we're working with him on. He just doesn't like the flavor. He'll have chicken, but one day he loves it, the next day he doesn't like it. One day he wants a burger, the next day, I don't like hamburger. I mean, he's a 4-year-old, so I'm gonna have these battles probably for a few more years. But at the bottom line, the versatility of a protein powder. You can literally put your protein powder in a container, or a resealable bag, assuming you're not traveling. Trust me, if you take a white powdery substance in a Ziploc bag on a plane, TSA will not like you. I know this. Several times. So, make sure if you're traveling with it, it's in a sealable container. Preferably have some type of label on it saying what it is. Obviously, if somebody goes to check and they see a vanilla protein powder, but it's a white powdery substance, you're probably going to get questioned. But you can literally take it anywhere. If you have a shaker cup, one of these, obviously, I like to put my liquid in first because it mixes a heck of a lot better when you put the powder in second. But if you put your powder in here and you take it to work, or you take it to school, or you take it to practice, you take it to the gym, and you would just want to fill it up with water after or between breaks or on your lunch break or whatever the case may be, you can do that. Just pour the water in, make sure you shake it up really well. Some clumping might happen because normally the mixability is always better when you have the liquid in first, you put the powder in, then shake it up. But pouring the water on the powder, it's not going to change the profile. You might just get a little clumpier shake at the end of the day. But, I mean, if you shake it up well, it could all, dissolve and be perfectly fine. But just be aware of that if you do make your shakes and you have the protein powder in first, there is a higher probability that you might get some clumps, some lumps, and some chunks that you're going to end up chewing up a little bit. But you can use protein powder for anything. You can put it in your baked goods. Like I said, you can put it in your cereal, your oatmeal, your yogurt. You can. Some people have even put it in some soup. So they'll take like an unflavored protein powder, and they'll actually just take a scoop of it. They'll toss it in their soup, and they'll just mix it up really well. You can't even tell the difference. So rather having a soup that's really fat and carb heavy, you can kind of even it out a little bit, from a macro standpoint by putting in a scoop of that. Now this one obviously has 25 grams of protein, but whatever it is, usually protein powders are anywhere from 18 grams per scoop all the way up to 20, 25 grams. So if you are in the situation where you really want to increase your protein intake during the day and you just don't want to eat more whole food sources, maybe you're having eggs in the morning, maybe you're having a chicken breast at night, maybe a piece of, or a chicken breast at lunch, and maybe a piece of fish at night, you're still getting in a good overall quantity and quality protein source from those 3 meals. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to get to, say you're 200 pounds and you want 200 grams of protein because you want 1 gram per pound, you're not going to be there with what you just had for breakfast, lunch, dinner. So you're going to have to either fill it in with more whole food sources. So maybe you can have Greek yogurt. Maybe you can include something like cheese, maybe beef jerky, whatever the case may be, a handful of nuts. Still, you're going to be below that 200 gram mark at the end of the day. So utilizing something like a protein powder is just going to be very efficient. It's going to be extremely convenient. And like I said, if you don't like blenders, get yourself a shaker bottle, pour the contents in, shake it up, drink it, wash it out, let it dry. Good for the next use. You don't have to do all the blender parts and, put all the ingredients away. I mean, literally I had 3 ingredients if you count the Splenda that I put in today. So very simple, very easy. Don't be afraid of utilizing protein powders. I know some people are like, oh, they're supplements, they're unregulated, I don't know what I'm getting. Listen, protein powder is pretty basic across the board. There's nothing weird or shocking that people would be putting into, tubs of protein. The most discouraging thing that you'll figure out for yourself when you buy a tub of protein is when you take the seal off the top and you crack it open, you're going to have to figure out where the heck the scoop is. That's if you're in the supplement industry, you're probably laughing because that's the most frustrating thing ever. You have to, shake it around. You're looking for the scoop. Where is it? Where is it? Then you get a spoon and you're scooping, trying to dig the scoop out. That's probably one of the most interesting things that you can do when you buy a new tub of protein. But that's really all I wanted to talk about today. I made this morning and I thought this would be like a really good topic because a lot of people just think a protein powder is a protein powder and you mix it up and that's all you can do. But you can actually get creative and you can even take a protein powder, and the examples that I gave you with the yogurt, if you have a plain Greek yogurt, you could put in a strawberry protein powder and change the flavor of the Greek yogurt to strawberry. Same thing, you can put in chocolate, make it taste like chocolate. You can get fancy, and if you get one of those, pumpkin spice flavors, I think BSN has that now that I think about it. But you can put that in whatever, and you can change the taste of things. If you have Cheerios, just plain Cheerios, not the honey nut, and you want to change the flavor of it, add protein powder in when you pour your milk in. Mix it around, you're going to change the flavor of your cereal. There are so many different things that you can do with protein powder. You can even make your own protein bars with it. A no-bake protein bar by adding things like peanut butter and honey, obviously the protein powder, the oats, and you make little balls. You can turn them into little bars, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, there's so many different things that you can do with protein powder that the opportunity to get in more protein in your day is endless when you really think about it. So don't feel like you're stuck to just eating whole foods, even though that is the most, the number one. That's what I would recommend doing first. But I understand not everybody can fit in so many meals or eat in such a quantity to take in as much protein as they would really feel that they need on a daily basis. And not everyone is a fan of protein bars. Some of them are chalky, some of them are hard, some of them are crunchy, some of them are too soft. Whatever the case may be, if you have a protein bar, by all means, if you have the chance and opportunity to buy those, buy them. If you like them, that's perfectly fine to utilize. But for me, I like the protein powder. It's super easy, super convenient, and it's something that I personally recommend to my clients. I've talked about it numerous times in my content, and it's something that I fully believe in. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. Head over to the website. Tons of free content on there, www.weikfitness.com. There's interviews. Obviously, all of these podcasts are also up on the website, so you can go back and see all the different podcast that we had. If you're listening to this on iTunes or another podcast platform, thank you. I hope you subscribe. I hope you subscribe to the RSS and you're constantly getting these podcasts in your device every single week. If you're on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm pretty new to this whole YouTube video thing, so I'm trying to get better with each podcast that I put together for you guys. If you're not already watching Fit Business with myself and Jimmy Mentis, oh my gosh, it's like two guys with opposing views on pretty much everything, just going back and forth, debating each other on various topics relating to health, fitness, supplements. We go into business topics. We're on our second episode. Third episode is dropping next week. But I mean, there's so many things that we have going on that is going to be extremely fun. We have guests lined up, some very, very big name guests, which I'm not going to reveal just yet because we're trying to work out their schedules. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I would love to hear your feedback on the social media platforms. Everything is at Weik Fitness. So whether it's Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, hit me up. Let me know what you think about the podcast. If you have topics that you want me to cover, let me know. Either go to the website and click on contact and it'll send a message to me, or you can go on Messenger right from the website and let me know topics or feedback that you want me to know about. Or, like I said, hit me up on social media. I'd love to hear from you guys. Love your support. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's a little rainy here in Pennsylvania, which is probably why the lighting is terrible in here, so I apologize for that. But I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, an amazing weekend, and I hope to catch you guys on the next episode.